Welcome to this video about DaVinci Resolve. We have 10 tips to help you get started for beginners, and this video has been indexed, so skip to the part you want, and if you don't know what you want, maybe stick around for the whole video and leave a comment what your favorite tip was, so that way we can all learn as a community what is most important. So if you've never used DaVinci Resolve before, the first thing you're going to see is your projects manager. All of your new projects will be housed in here, and you'll be able to sort through this in different ways. You can click on that list and go by format or frame rate or when it was created, but I've already created a project here for this video we're doing, and I'm gonna drop some examples in here, and let's just click on it because I want to talk about how to get back to that page. So if you wanted to go back to your projects manager, you just hover down here and see that this home icon is going to bring you back to the screen, or you can come up here to file and then click here on project manager, or you can use the hotkey shift 1 and that will get you back to your project manager. But let's talk about our project settings, which is the gear icon down here. And these are just the big things that are important for your project settings. You can come back here to file and click on project settings from here, or you can hit shift 9 as a hotkey, and you can set your project settings. So for this video, I'm going to be doing HD, and I'm using 60 frames per second because that's what I'm recording in OBS. And that's how you get started with your project manager and your project settings. All right, so tip number 2 is going to be mastering your media tab down here. Now, if you don't know anything about DaVinci Resolve, it works from left to right. So you import your media, you make your general assembly cut here, you use your edit page for your editing, and then you use your effects and Fusion. Color will be for color. Fairlight is for sound, and then you deliver off this little rocket ship. So let's go back to the media tab, because if you can master that, it's gonna make your whole project much stronger. And you're gonna be looking at something like this. It'll say no clips in media pool because it's a new project. You can just start importing footage from here. So I'm gonna drill down here into a hard drive I have with footage on it, and I'm going to use my 2023 Survivor audition, and I'm just going to import some footage. So I have this this candle sequence here, and I'm just going to drag it over. It's going to ask me about frame rates and project frame rates. I'm going to say don't change because I need to know what those are on my own. So if these are filmed at 24 or 30 FPS, I need to know because, while this project is 60 FPS, that's because I'm recording my OBS in that. So I don't want these to just automatically be slowed down. The sound is going to be a problem. So I just click don't change on any format, and then I'll figure it out later. The other thing you can do is you can just drag it in just directly from the Finder window. So I'm just going to go boom, and I'm not going to change my frame rates here because they are different than my project. Now let's get rid of these. And I want to talk about just a general bin structure that works. So you can just do your sequences in one bin, your footage in another bin, your audio or your voiceover or your music in another bin, and you can have sub bins in there if you want to divide music and audio. Effects, graphics, that'll be your VFX and your different things you plan on inserting, and then download, that would be just like external sort of memes or like clips you're cutting to. So that's just one way. I'm going to delete that, and now we have no clips in our media pool again, and we're going to just use our file structure that already exists by right-clicking here and adding folder and subfolders into media pool, and that will create bins. Now once you do this, we're not going to change any project stuff, but you'll see here that this whole thing has become nice and organized because I've gone ahead and I've put them all in their right files anyway. So I have music I've selected, I have photos here of different things. If I needed to sort it, maybe that's a better way to do it. I have profile pictures, boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it's just navigating over here back to master. And that's how you use your media bin to your advantage. And I really think the more organized you can be in the beginning, the better your edit will be. It's just an easy way to stay organized because you're working in this nice format here. And you know, I would have been lost in this edit, which is kind of embarrassing, but like at the same time, looking back, like, bro, look at this shot. How cool is that I made that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, that's awesome that I made this sequence for a Survivor audition. All right. Tip number 3 is about not skipping the cut tab. A lot of people like to jump straight into this edit tab where they, you know, they feel more comfortable, but I'm gonna say let's not skip that and let's use the cut page because there's some interesting things about it, and this is what makes it unique. So if you want to view your footage, you can click this button, source tape, here, and you can see everything. You can scrub through everything, and it has all these different clips and photos I've organized in different folders by the date they were created, or I can search by, you know, what bin they're in. So it really can become a nice way to organize your footage. And that's what I did here for this example here for my Survivor audition. And it really would have been easy to get lost. So using your cut page, it's just really nice to use this source tape icon, and it'll, you know, let's say you drill into a folder here. So let's say blank wall. Sorry, double click blank wall, and source tape is now going to say it's only going to be all of the different videos and photos inside of blank wall, right? And that's what makes this really nice, because let's say I'm like, oh, I found the soundbite I want. I can do an in and an out, and then I can simply just drag it down here to the bottom, and it'll create a new clip. So let's say boom, boom, that's the next thing. So I'm gonna say append. So now this is gonna be the view of all of your clips combined, and then you can't zoom in and out anymore here. You can only shuttle around like so, but you can pull up the edges. It makes for a very quick, nice, rough assembly of your footage. So, you know, let's say I wanted to add this candle sequence in here. So I would just go to the footage, I would go to candle sequence, and I'm gonna go bam. And now I'm looking at all the different stuff I shot for this candle sequence to make sure I don't miss any of the good stuff. So I'll go in and out, and then I'm gonna click this smart insert, and it'll put it at the end, and then I'll go over here and I'll say in, out, and I'll click smart insert again, and let's just get some different shots in here so I can really start to make this edit. And I'm really just trying to get clips in here so you can see all these different clips, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this video is now 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes. And you know, you need to make decisions. So you're like, oh, okay, let's cut 22 seconds off of that. And it's just an easy way to get really close. And then that way, when you go into your edit tab, you already have a working timeline, and you've had a chance to sort of view all of your different media using your source tape button. So tip number 4 is going to be about the power of transitions in DaVinci Resolve. So I have my 2023 Survivor audition here as the example, and I want to add some sick transitions. So I'm going to click up here on effects and close my media pool, and then I'm going to click on video transitions. But if you'll notice, they're already in here. They're already here because I'm previewing everything inside of the toolbox, but we only want video transitions. So I'm going to click on it. And if you go to the edit point it'll automatically let you sort of preview these different transitions, which is awesome and quick. So, I think the most common ones you'll see are, cross dissolve, where you just drag and drop. Or if you want to have like some sort of, barn door push, stuff like that. So I'm going to scrub to a different one so I can preview it. I'm going to drag and drop it on there. Look at that. Scrub through, looks good. If your inspector is closed or open, you can open your inspector and you can highlight your transition and you can look at it, which is right here. So, you can dig in, you can make some cool stuff, and then you can even save it as a user one. So I have some quick pushes or like, zoom in sort of energy sort of transitions that I've made for myself. And that's what makes it really cool to use, because you have that preview and you can save those, and then they're all built into the app. So check out transitions in DaVinci Resolve. Tip number 5 is going to be, don't be afraid of the color page, because this is one of the cool things about DaVinci Resolve, is learning node-based editing. And this is our timeline. We can scrub through and see different clips. We can color grade, or we can click on the individual clips by themselves. So let's say it's me on this white wall here. If I wanted to adjust some stuff, there's a couple different ways, but I have my my curves here, color slice, color warper, qualifier, window, blah blah blah. So like the list goes on, but they're all just there to control the color in the image. So offset is going to be your global sort of light and dark. It's not shifting colors. So if I wheel this down, it's going to get darker. If I wheel this way up, it's going to get brighter. I can click here to reset. So that's your global offset. Gain is going to be your highs, or your whites, right here. Z is to fit the frame. So I just use my mouse to zoom in, and then I center clicked with my mouse. That'll help you grab, and then I can come back here and I can click fit, or I can hit Z. So that's a good way to look at color. But gain is going to be your lighter pixels. Gamma is going to be your medium, so like think your skin tones and your different gamma, and then lift is going to be the darks, the shadows and whatnot. So if I come down here and click on this scopes, you'll see the parade waveform monitor from 0 to 100 luminosity. So like this is blown out. These whites are past 100. So that's the color page. And I don't want to go too far into it, but what people do is they'll create nodes, and so you just come here and you right click and you click add serial node, or you can use the hotkey option S, and people will start here and they will start with their exposure, and then they'll come in here and do their color balance, and then etc. So like they'll come down the line and work on one thing at a time until they dial in their color specifically. That's how to do node-based color editing. There's other ways where, if you just have a LUT and you're filming, like say with a pocket Osmo, and you just had D-Log, you're filming in D-Log, and you just wanted your basic Rec 709 saturation and that conversion, you could just drag it and drop it right into one of these, and then it'll be a LUT on there. But this isn't DJI D-Log M footage, so it looks whack. So that is the color page in a nutshell, and I'm just telling you, don't be afraid of it. Learn the color page. It's going to make you stronger. And if you start to look at these things and just be able to navigate, I think that's just half the battle. All right, tip number 6 is about adding text and titles. Now I here am in the effects tab, and I'm going to click on titles, and again, you can just preview what a title looks like by scrubbing down the line, and sometimes it needs to load, or you can just simply drag and drop. Let's look at some different titles, right? So this one's going to be a right-on sort of, animated look. And it's just as simple as dragging it on, hitting play, and look at that, it's like already going. So I'm gonna click on that, and then I'm gonna come up here to my inspector, and it's gonna sort of give me some controls. I have my font, I have my text, which is the most important. I love you, Jeff. You know, something like that. And it's just a quick way to be quick and efficient. There's different controls in here that we can dive into, but I'm assuming if you're just trying to be down and dirty, just look at your text in your effects tab and then drop it in where you want it. That's pretty simple how you can be dynamic pretty quickly. So that's text and titles. Tip number 7 is about sound being simplified with Fairlight. Now, I just want to talk about the view controls again. This is going to be like my color tip. Just don't be afraid to look at different tabs and open them and close them. Just don't be afraid to navigate through this stuff. And let's go to the audio in this example. Let's go to music. So, you know, I have Enya here. I can scrub through here. Can create in and out points. I gotta just drop it right on, and I'll have that precise control that I need. And the other thing is, like, these are gonna be the biggest controls here. So definitely open your mixer if you need to look at your mixer meter. And then zoom in and out. Use everything to your advantage, because it is it's definitely important. By the way, DaVinci Resolve has a free sound library that you can download, and then tip number 8 is about streamlining your workflow with custom tools and shortcuts. So I'm going to take a picture of my desk right now, and I'm going to share it with you. And the main thing I want you to know is, like, you should always be looking for ways to make your life easier with shortcuts and tools. So the big way to do that is by using them, which is Command, Option, and K. And that will bring up your shortcuts. And as you can see here, I have my own saved shortcuts. So as you make them, you know, let's say you're like, oh, I want to make Shift Y be something, you know, and I used Y because I saw it was open. If I click on Shift T, I can see that's add audio only transition, or freeze frame R, Shift R, you know. So it's also a good way to just learn the different shortcuts from your keyboard. So yeah, this is just about making life easier for you. So if you remember anything from this tip, it's that you should be remembering Command Option K to bring up your keyboard customization. Tip number 9 is about your export settings. So I'm going to click on this Deliver tab here down at the end, and we're going to just deliver this sequence we have here for the Survivor edit. So I am going to just name it Survivor 2023, and you can see here there's different presets, and I definitely recommend getting familiar with those, because say you click on YouTube 1080, it knows the bit rate it wants to transcode this as. So if you need specific settings, say for example a file size needs to be a certain size, you can restrict this to different amounts of kilobytes per second, and it will encode it differently, and you'll have a quality loss or whatever. But I would just definitely recommend going H.264 master, and then you can name it whatever you want. Here, if I click single clip versus individual clips, single clip will give me the full timeline as one, MP4 file. If I click on individual clips, it'll give me all 7 of these clips by themselves. So it'll give me 7 different MP4s, and it will have some kind of naming structure to them in the file location that I choose here in Browse. Once I get all of this kind of set up, you're gonna go ahead and click Add to Render Queue, and then it needs a destination, of course. It's gonna come up here to Render Queue, and then once you hit Render All, it will begin going through your video, and then it'll be done as fast as your computer can do it. So just remember, as you practice your export settings and whatnot, you can just really start to learn what works for you and what doesn't. So definitely don't be intimidated by your export settings tab. So tip number 10 is about troubleshooting for beginners. So let's pretend I was having trouble getting this title we created to line up with the beginning of this frame. Like I'm used to it just going straight to, and I was like, I'm not sure if it's lining up right, and it's like, no, it's not, and I'm getting frustrated. So if I spend more than 5 minutes on this problem, I'm moving on, and then I'm just asking Google about it later, and I'm trying to figure it out. And if you know the name of it, like, gosh, that helps. You could come up here to help, and you can type in snapping, right? And you'll see right here, there's a hotkey N. I can click N, and now this is gonna jump to that edit point, and it's gonna hold there for me. That's what snapping is. And it's also right here. It's this little magnet. So as you learn the program, you're gonna have these problems here and there, and you're not gonna know, oh wait, how did he just go to that zoomed out function, and how is that zoomed out function? So for you at home, I hit Shift Z, and it brought me to the whole timeline. But how is that different from this view right here, where you have your whole timeline? So you're gonna learn these things as you go, and you can also use your Command Option K, and you can search for it down here. So yeah, don't be afraid to go search for your problems. So that's tip number 10. So if you've watched this whole video, thank you so much. I've used this program for 2 or 3 years now, so I just wanted to show you different things that I've found so helpful along the way. And if you're here at the end, please drop me a like, drop me a subscription, and leave a comment about your favorite tip. Like, that's so helpful for a channel like mine. So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching.